nut. Give me that half-assed nut. Wow. Wowie, wow, wow, wow. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Where Evil Lives. It's a new adventure. This is Burnock Mill, which has a very subdued title compared to The Hanging Tree or Striga Nona's Hut. So, we're gonna have to paint a little picture as we move into this one. But first, a little bit of a synopsis. Not really much of a recap, but just kind of like a general rundown of what has been happening. Our players, our adventurers, they completed their mission for the VAEA to clear out, to get rid of, to make not a problem, the titular Striga Nona from Striga Nona's Hut. And they did so by brutally murdering said Striga Nona.
Oh, come on.
Was it murder if it's self-defense?
That's fair. You know, that's definitely
brutal?
fair.
Is it
was pretty brutal.
It was house and threaten them.
It's definitely
Honestly, Jeremy, I think you're trying. You're trying to steer the narrative towards Guy turning evil.
The title is Where Evil Lives, and I just desperately want by the end of all of this to be the answer to that question is Inside Guy.
Yeah.
That's what I want the answer to that question to be is Inside Guy. Anyways, the party triumphantly defeated the foul hag Striga Nona. Continued to explore her hut, discovering and freeing the remaining cat souls that dwelled within, and then promptly fleeing the hut as they faced off against Tiermonger, the resident chimera. But they made it out. They made it out safe, whole, relatively sound, and with a companion, the rescued kobold Kira. Made their way back to the VAEA, and then after several days in which they relaxed and healed their wounds, and other groups from the VAEA completed their missions or didn't, and made their way back to the guild, eventually the magical castle that houses the guild teleported away from the hinterlands and off to a new location. It's several days in this new place, which isn't especially uncommon. It can be days or even weeks before the VAEA actively engages in missions in the surrounding countryside in which it finds itself, oftentimes establishing diplomatic relations first and foremost with the places that it has suddenly teleported to, before sending out its roving bands of adventurers. And this is one such occasion, as the VAEA finds itself on the edge of a not quite war-torn nation, but definitely one experiencing a great deal of strife and unrest. It's rolling hills and open countryside. To the north, a great sea, and a few days' travel eastward lies the metropolis of Rhaweth. Westward, lies a metropolis of Rhaweth. And it takes the VAEA a little bit of time to do their fact-finding missions, to try to not step on any toes, before they actually start sending out little adventuring parties to take care of contracts. And it's several days after that your group, which has been able to just lounge for a while, relax, coming off the high of your victory over the Strigonona. Perhaps going through the motions of practicing new techniques, learning new skills, experimenting with new magic as you all hit level 5. But eventually, you all are called into the office of Ivayaneth, the white-haired, elven-ish woman who tends to run the day-to-day business, the mission-giving, the administrative work, etc. of the VAEA. She waits until you're all clustered into her office, which is big, but not so, like, massive or grand that 5 people and a dog can just stand about, like, comfortably in their own spaces while she sits behind this massive desk. So you're all kind of like
tiny people, or most of us are tiny people.
Yeah, and most of you are tiny people. You're in here, but you're not scrunched all bunched together. But you're definitely in that scenario of like, if we weren't comfortable standing next to each other, this would be a little uncomfortable. And Ivayaneth speaks very calmly, very comported, very composed. You all have been doing well. Your success rates on your missions have been impeccable. Are you finding these services set before you to be sufficient as you conduct your missions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you keeping your character?
Yeah.
Zach reprises his role as Nymdaer for this adventure.
Wow.
Yeah,
Somewhat surprisingly.
I thought you didn't like Nymdaer.
Well, I didn't
yes.
like how that turned out, but
Actually,
He might not be the same Nymdaer as he once was.
He's not like, bruh.
Ivayaneth kind of nods at the general, yes, the general vibe of acceptance, and she says, "Good.
how many lips does it get to this?
We always value feedback from our valued members, and you are proving yourselves as such. In that regard, I have a somewhat delicate mission for you. I want anyone who has perception proficiency to roll a perception check.
No, not me for the day.
Nymdaer, why are you distracted and not noticing whatever it is?
I got a sucker from her desk.
You actually got a sucker?
Yeah, from her desk.
No, she absolutely does not have suckers on her desk. You
Well,
brought
not
this
anymore.
thing in here.
not
She doesn't have one.
anymore.
Not
Fuck
anymore.
you.
She doesn't.
So Nymdaer is just legitimately like loudly focused on this
came
sucker.
to her office with it in his hand, put it on her desk, and said,
Put it.
"Oh, you have one of those." And took
Oh,
it back.
thanks, Lily. Just kind of catches your eye for a moment as Ivayaneth is speaking to you. You're just naturally in the habit of letting your eyes rove around, taking in everything that's around you. You see a little... So she has a big kind of like oaken desk in front of her. Everything on it is very neat and orderly, but it is covered. It's full of various different stacks of paper, writing utensils, stamps, little notes here or there, but it's all like straight, perfectly stacked, etc., etc. But behind her, there is a little like shelving unit that stretches out about the same length as the desk. And there's various little knickknacks, all straight and orderly, across the desk that don't have any seemingly correlation with one another or rhyme or reason to their location or their being here. You see among them a little ivory salt shaker.
Wait.
Did we lose him?
No.
Did he freeze, or is that like a moment of da da da?
Wait, well, this isn't my perception check, though, right?
It's not your perception check.
Okay. All right.
But, Lily, it just seems strange to you when you clock it. You might want to bring it up later, if you choose, to your companions.
Okay.
Evayaneth continues. She says, in that regard, it's not just praise that I've brought you here for. We find ourselves in a somewhat delicate situation in this new location. Rhaweth was a war-torn place, and over the last 2 decades has been in the process of rebuilding itself. Unfortunately, about 9 months ago, there was a bit of an uprising, a rebellion. Incorrect words. A coup would be more apt. Failed, unfortunately.
I think he wants pets, Jeremy.
Oh,
he put claws up in
right.
there.
Look at him
You
go.
about to get
combo
chopped.
over here.
You're about to get super chopped, boy.
That was like, what, 12 in the last 30 seconds?
Damn. Fine, I will pet the
Pet the
cat. Rewarding bad behavior over here.
Where's the
Um,
bull?
Best use of channel.
Oh,
She says, the current administration of Rhaweth, led by the Duke Raru, was fortunate in defending themselves from a usurper by the name of Baron Uthrak. Unfortunately, it seems as if though they defeated his armies in the field, they were not able to actually capture and deal with the Baron in totality. And it seems he has taken up residence on their border, a border they share with the nation to their south, Tenaria, which is not a good border. It's somewhat a lawless location. Baron Uthrak, it seems, has set up a bit of a toll road on a particular trade route and is causing quite a bit of issue. This is not normally something we would involve ourselves with. However, we have heard some other concerning items. It appears as though the amount of smuggling that has begun in Rhaweth is an inordinately high amount. A lot of contraband, a lot of weapons in an otherwise peaceful and rebuilding city. And informants are being surprisingly tight-lipped, but those that do speak all trace this back to the Baron. So, as a favor to the Council of Rhaweth, the VAEA has agreed to investigate this matter and try to figure out how and why these goods are being smuggled into the city, and to, if possible, put an abrupt stop to it. This isn't as typical a mission as we would normally send individuals of your particular talents on. It is possible that this might be a matter of some delicacy, as you will be very near the border of another rather powerful nation. And depending on what the Baron is actually doing, that might cause some trouble. So I need you to handle this matter swiftly, efficiently, but also with delicacy if required.
We are quite delicate.
She
Yeah.
immediately raises an eyebrow at Guy. She says, if my assumptions are correct, I would not assume that the Baron is someone you can negotiate with. But use your best judgment to facilitate the success of your primary mission, however you see fit. However, as per normal, there are a few secondary missions that we have been provided with, one of which might run counter to the primary mission, depending on how the situation develops. And that is that the Duke Graru would really like there to not be another coup. She takes a piece of parchment off her desk, and she slides it across the desk to the rest of you. And it's your quest log for the Burnock Mill quest or adventure.
That's a lot. Shit.
It's a little fat. So, same thing as usual. Main mission and then 3 side quests. VAEA is not reading these out to you. She's giving you the opportunity to peruse them, but I am going to read them out just so that anyone who is listening can just hear them. So, main mission is a smuggler's dream. Rhaweth has been experiencing a sudden massive influx in the smuggling of illegal arms, as exotic goods, and contraband. Informants have been surprisingly tight-lipped, but what has been revealed all traces back to a man named Baron Uthrak. The VAEA wants you to determine what the Baron knows about this sudden smuggling surge, who or what is responsible for it, and the implied scenario there is, if you can take care of it, take care of it. And your reward for that is a Blood Rage weapon, player's choice of that, and a Wand of Entanglement.
The fuck is a blood rage weapon?
A Blood Rage weapon, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, is a weapon. It's a magic weapon that has no bonuses until you drop below 50% HP, and then it becomes a +2.
Neat.
Interesting. Like a damage threshold.
Yeah. Side quest 1, Duelist Honor. The Lady Vigu, the scion of House Vigu, a famed duelist, was defeated and humiliated in a rigged duel prior to the Baron's uprising and subsequent exile. When he won, he took her sword, the Vigu Blade. You are to find and return the lady's blade, and you will be rewarded. And the House of Vigu will show the VAEA favor. And that will earn a +1 enchantment to a piece of owned armor or shield. That is not you will get a +1 of any type of armor. That is, if you want a +1, you have to purchase the armor, and then it will be +1 for you.
That's fair enough.
So no, just getting a +1 plate mail for free
Plus
type
one full plate?
situation. Full plate, exactly, right? Like, anyways, side quest 2 is where things start to get fuzzy, and as you're all kind of like reading through this piece of parchment, VAEA is obviously kind of like keeping up with you. Side quest 2 is Rising Rebellion. Duke Graru, the current head of the Council of Rhaweth, rules by a tenuous thread. The Baron's prior uprising, which saw the death of the Duke's father, has left Rhaweth on the edge of a knife, politically speaking. Rumors abound of a new uprising in the making, and Duke Graru can only assume the Baron is at the heart of it. The Duke has placed a bounty on the heads of the Baron, not of the Duke, and his captains, but would prefer their live capture so that the depth of their plot might be uncovered. The Duke will pay for the capture or death with proof of the Baron Uthrak, his lieutenant Beatrice the Cruel, and his 3 captains. And there is a differing gold amount for whether they are dead or alive. And then side quest 3 is Excised Tolls. The Countess Irna, a fashionista and the most eligible bachelorette in Rhawethian society, recently lost a caravan to Baron Uthrak's road tolls. In said caravan were several precious jewelry items intended for the Countess's use in the upcoming celebration of the Rhawethian restoration. Find and return the following pieces: the ebony irons, a pair of obsidian shackles dangling with liquid bloodstones, and the garrots, a princess or bib-styled necklace of black diamonds and red spinels. And the reward there is that the Countess Irna has promised a private session with her magical tattoo artist for each of the 2 pieces that can be retrieved.
All right.
You all are able to kind of like read through this scenario, and then as you do, Ivayaneth will give you her last bit of information. She tells you, the last known location of the Baron, because primarily of his road tolls, are or is at a place called Burnock Mill. Rhaweth is unable to go there and attempt to apprehend him themselves because it is right on their border with Tenaria, and marching any sizable force there could trigger a war with their neighbor. And not marching a sizable force there could mean that if the Baron Uthrak is raising troops, that force could be mauled or destroyed, which Rhaweth cannot afford at this current time. And thus, the VAEA steps in. Do you have any questions for me? A map will be provided, as well as a generalized escort. I believe they're planning on sending you with a caravan for the first few days' travel, and then you'll branch off to head to Burnock Mill.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, Linsey.
Say we find these people, capture them alive. Is there like an easy way to like get them here while we're still out in the field? Because like I don't know if we're gonna be like babysitting prisoners of war is like gonna feasible.
If it was easy, I doubt the price would be higher for their capture.
Right. Cool. All right.
So,
Understood.
as she finishes her speech, I'm gonna kind of reach over like I'm trying to lean on the desk and knock the salt shaker over.
It's behind her on the shelf unit behind her.
Can I? Okay, so I'll switch it. Sorry.
She does
so
the.
it's
She
behind-
still does it.
She
I'm gonna-
reaches all the
Go
way.
on. No, so I'll
Really long
I'll
arms.
wander around like
Mage
I'm
hand.
thinking. Like we could do a performance if you want, but I'm gonna wander around like I'm thinking and then accidentally knock it while I'm looking at her bookshelf. And then say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and grab it and put it back where it was, and then turn around and walk back towards the group.
She shrugs and she says, "Looks, are you alright? You seem a bit absent-minded, Lily.
Just how I am sometimes.
There's nothing causing you concern? I would be loath to send you out into the field if you were feeling unwell or not prepared."
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well,
Was
should
there
you
salt
not
in the
be-
salt shaker?
Yeah, a little bit of salt comes out of it.
Okay.
She says, well, if that isn't the case, then you have several days on the road to recuperate. Is there anything else?
No?
Think I'm good.
As per usual, while there is not a specific time constraint on this mission, it would be preferable if you could return with it completed as quickly as possible. So, please make any preparations you need to make, and I hope to see your swift return. And with that, she just kind of dismisses you all. You're free to kind of like leave, go talk amongst yourselves, go make preparations, etc., etc.
I think we're gonna need horses, or even better, giant lizards.
They have those in parts of the world, but most of those parts are not here. The horses, though, will absolutely be provided as part of your caravan experience on the VAEA's dime.
Are you telling me there's no stable for my giant lizard that I clearly brought with me?
Not only that, but the climate here would not be conducive to a
He
giant
died
lizard.
day one.
You're
No!
you're like one, I think it's too far north for it to be a good. You come here so I can pet you. I pet his butt. That might have to
It
count.
counts. It counts.
Yeah. Anyways, no giant lizard, Nymdaer. Damn.
Damn.
That's messed up.
Okay.
He was in the line of Queen Elizabeth.
You can ride Guy's Velociraptor
Can I?
The one that's like this big?
for 1 minute,
Oh.
I think, or something
Okay,
like
but in
that.
1 minute, I bet I can get pretty far.
I'll cast enlarge on it, so it's
There you go. Great use of resources. Okay, you all
Yeah,
exit.
I mean, if you enlarge Artorias, we at least get like 2 people.
Oh, absolutely. You
Oh, hell
you all
yeah.
exit Evaneth's office. You have free run of the VAEA. You can return to your rooms. You can go to the shops. You can go pack provisions. You can do whatever you need to do, or you can just group up, discuss what your plans are, and move on from there.
Are we getting provisions for this, or do we need to plan to feed ourselves for several days on the road?
You will be with the caravan for a while, and the way Evaneth described it, you're basically going to be taken care on the VAEA's dime as part of the caravan, but there will be probably a few days travel after you leave the caravan on your own. And also coming back, like, the whole way.
All right.
I would like to go purchase 2 cannons to attach to Artorias.
2 cannons. Great,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Dang it.
So, did anyone need to know about the salt shaker?
No,
I felt it was
mean,
important, and I.
What was this
Salt
triggering
shaker?
on, right?
Are you talking about the one that we found in the Ivory Throne base? Wasn't that a salt shaker?
Did we?
It was an ivory salt shaker.
Yeah, the
I
Ivory
thought
salt.
for sure it was from Striganona's hut. I mean,
it
she
was-
was
it
salting
was
and
next
peppering
to
shit
the
all over the
throne.
place.
Is it just like a trophy from the missions
It was-
that have been completed by the VAEA?
But how would she get it if she didn't go to the ivory throne?
Well, we brought it. We took it.
No, you
like
didn't.
We
We did not.
we didn't.
No.
I mean, they got to
They went in.
determine
They
we're
have
doing
a
these
cleanup
things
crew that
somehow.
goes in after us.
Not that we're
Yeah.
not already chaotic evil.
No,
But
somebody's confirming we're actually
we
doing
bad?
what we're saying we're
Chaotic
doing.
evil.
Actually, I say that, Lindsay, you might have taken it. Did you take it?
I think I picked it up.
You definitely
and then-
interacted with it.
Yeah, I thought it had something to because I could tell it was like slightly magical in some way, and I thought maybe it was tied to somehow activating the magic circle.
Sure.
But I don't think I ever specified like stowing it or taking it, so I guess I would not have.
I'll leave that up to you.
No, I don't see any reason why I don't hold on to it.
Okay.
If it wasn't part of like our escape.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna go and buy a pot and salted meats, and no, not salted meats, just like stew meats and some vegetables and maybe like some
Vegetables don't
bones for
exist.
stock.
Vegetable.
Sure. Okay. I
I'll
will
buy all
say,
that.
if you want to buy, you want to buy most of those types of things, we'll say, is this for the whole group or just for you?
It's enough for everybody.
Okay. We'll say 15 gold to supply yourself up from the VAEA's stores.
All right, I'm gonna notate it as party soup kit, just because I don't want to write all of that down.
Awesome. Do you have perception trained?
I do.
You do? Roll me a perception
do.
check.
That's a persuasion check. This is perception. That's a natty 20.
Natty 20. No questions about it. You are at the quartermaster, gathering provisions, buying a few things, and you see not being utilized or anything, but in a back corner of this area, because it's almost like a shopping stall. Like you walk up to this stall and ask the quartermaster for what you need, and there's this whole like process back and forth, and she's working around like grabbing stuff and bringing it over to the counter for you. You see back in a corner the pot from the first room of Striga Nona's house.
All right, I'm inquiring about that. I said, hey, where'd you get that totally radical pot?
That one? Oh, they brought it in I don't know, a week ago, right before we left the hinterlands.
Oh, yeah, cool. Hey, who's they?
Oh, just some agents.
Mhm.
Janeki and Taylor, I think.
Okay,
I
write down
wasn't
Taylor.
really paying attention.
Janeki and Taylor.
No, I'm joking. You don't have to write that down, sweet. Cool. They bring you stuff like often, or like?
Everyone brings me stuff all the time. I take goods from people and I give goods to people.
All right. Do I know either of this Janeki or Taylor?
Roll me a history check. You all are still relatively new to the guild.
7.
You do not recall anyone by those names.
All right, cool. All right then. Well, neat.
Do you know what that is? I mean, I'm
just,
gonna get it identified, but I just haven't had time yet.
thought I've seen it somewhere before. Like a roving hag's hut.
Oh. Well, that's why we have the procedures of identifying things in place. Good to know.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Well,
Thanks.
there's
Yeah, cool.
there's your stew kit.
All right. Thanks. I'm gonna
Right.
make some stew.
Fantastic. Anybody else doing anything? Oh, Guy, you're putting cannons on Artorias.
Yeah, Artorias has cannons now.
Fantastic.
Wait,
I
I can't
That wasn't
actually
like
do
a
that.
joke. That wasn't hyperbole.
You
Like
go
we're
to you go to
Onward.
Zufbar, the dwarven runesmith. He's a bit quirky. And you have two about inch-and-a-half sized cannons mounted on Artorias's shoulders.
Freaking sweet.
what's the
All right,
caliber of the round?
Can I get some gunpowder to go on those?
They're electricity based.
Cool. Even better.
That's
Awesome.
like a Gaussian cannon.
What are you again? You're a battlesmith or?
Yes.
They will shoot.
Fucking gauze cannons on his
They-
dog.
They will shoot the tiniest laser beam that has a 20-foot range and deals 1 damage.
Hell yeah. I'll take it.
You have to do all of that.
Yeah, apparently.
Costs you
That's all
20
I
gold.
did.
Me too.
I
Wow.
accept this loss.
Can't
How
believe
much
you went with
gold
that.
to bump that up to 2 damage?
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
No, actually, I lie. We could do it. It's just going to require installing a massive battery pack on Artorias.
What about 1d4?
We have the technology.
Anyways, anybody else want to do anything else, or are we heading out on an adventure?
I have a question.
What's the question?
Venturing.
So, I know in the previous campaigns that I got 3 1d4s. Does that... We are getting those from doing the cards, right?
You're getting
So
those
does
from
that
the
mean-
cards.
So does that mean I have 3 guild coins?
You got the
At
guild
least.
coins from those cards previously, I believe. What's your guild coin total at? I
That's
can-
what I'm trying to figure out.
I can do the math really quick. What's your
How many
total
cards
at?
you done?
That's what I don't know. I don't know what my total is.
Oh, do you have any number written down at all?
I have 3 1d4s.
Okay.
And finish one card to the left, so it'll be 4
Let me
1d4s.
do math.
And I'm
We got
asking if it's 4
3,
guild coins.
6,
So I finished 4
9.
cards.
You should have 5 coins.
Hold on, I gotta
because-
pull up Mitch's messages.
Wait. No, that's incorrect. Not 3, 6, 9. You should have 4 coins.
No!
One coin short.
Yeah.
You can buy a coin for 500
I do have that.
if you
Can I
want
do
to. You
that?
can do that.
Okay.
I would like to do that, and I would like to buy
50?
the Raven.
The Raven?
I know
The figurine
exactly.
of the
I know
wondrous
exactly what you're talking about.
Raven.
Absolutely know what you're talking about. Okay, cool.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, can be done.
I think healing potions are 50, right? Regular healing potions?
Regular healing potions are 50. Yes.
Yeah, 50 gold.
So you're talking about the figure of wondrous power, Silver Raven. Absolutely, definitely doable. So yeah, just notate. Costs you 500 gold, right? So subtract that from your gold total, and then it costs you all 5 of your guild coins. You are wiped clean.
Wiped clean. I gotta do more cards.
More cards.
Love your queen.
More cards. More cards. All right, fantastic.
Lotto.
Before we get underway, as we kind of start into our adventure, did anyone get anything at level 5 that they want to share, or is it mostly like extra attack and health?
5 for me was like oddly like nothing, since 5 is usually like a big deal for most classes.
Well, didn't you get like
Artificer levels suck.
I got new spell level?
I've got 2 level 3 spell slots.
Yeah, I mean, that's Fireball, brother.
2 level 3 spell slots, and
Yeah.
you're like, that's not a
He's a
big
druid,
deal.
there's no
Yeah, well,
fireball.
I got my ASI at 4,
Well, some druids
so I
can.
don't get an ASI at 5.
Yeah, you got
Who gets an ASI at 5?
you got new
Doesn't everybody get
spell
ASI?
levels.
No one.
No, it's extra attack.
Yeah.
Do you want to share what new spells you took?
Yeah.
Or do you wanna keep those secret?
I took. Actually, what did I take? I know I took the Xanathar's Guide, Earth Eruption, and then I also took Dispel Magic.
Useful. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Anybody else got anything cool that they want to share?
I got extra attack.
Yeah.
Nymdaer, Dolly, both extra attack. I'm assuming. Guy, did you get extra attack, or does
I
Artificer
got
not get
extra
that?
attack.
You got extra attack. Lily also got extra attack.
Extra
I'm
attack.
pretty
Yeah,
sure.
that's
Two
what I'm talking
attacks
about.
now.
Think
Say,
get to
that is
attack
a
twice.
huge
You
turning
could do
point
3 if you actually hit with both of them.
I know. And then I got good berries. So if
Hey.
Nice.
we need food, I can make food. But again, if you're like trying to cook for, Nymdaer,
Yeah.
if you're trying to cook for the joy
Well,
of it,
Supplemental
that's a
option
magical solution
in
for
case
a full day's
in
food.
case bad shit goes down, Lily has you covered.
that's right.
Wonderful. All right, cool. You all make your preparations over the next few hours, deciding whether or not to stay at the VAEA one more day or not before exiting, taking the short trip to the nearby city of Rhaweth, and then meeting up with the caravan that you've been assigned to, and traveling southward. Click some music over. Un momento.
Artorias hunts bunnies with his lasers.
That's fucked up.
That's actually a useful thing. I hate it.
So sad.
I can imagine he's not like super stealthy either, so he's probably just like, you
No,
fine?
he's like a fucking horror movie,
Right?
like this robot stomping through the brush.
Exactly. But the thing is they're probably long gone by the time he gets anywhere near them. But you could like show him what a rabbit like hole is, so he could just wait near it, and as soon as a rabbit pops their head out, they don't have a head.
Yep.
That's
He just
messed
goes,
up.
he just goes, pew,
He
and their head's
deheads
gone.
them.
Oh, that's fucked up. All right.
Mew.
The next several days are going to pass in rapid succession as you all travel southward with this caravan of about 30 or so wagons, heading generally south before it will intend to hook eastward and make the slow, arduous trek northeast towards the much larger city of Hitoken. And before we get to the part where you all split off and continue your journey south towards Burnock Mill, does anything happen with you and your characters, or anyone else, over the course of these several days of travel? Does anyone want to do anything or have any conversations with anyone or anything like that?
Yes.
I build a
I would
second
like to.
defender.
What you're gonna do? What with your defender?
I think go ahead.
Just build a second steel defender? Is that what you said? Because I
Yes.
hate you for it.
I think you
And
should
then,
do
and then
that.
I ride them by standing 1 foot on either one.
Absolutely
And do
disgusting.
The Jean-Claude Van Damme splits, like
Yep.
It doesn't count. You're a construct.
I will every single night. I will build little shrines for my ravens if they're nearby, or the crows.
Very nice. Just roll me. We're just gonna do a flat check. Roll me animal handling, and we'll see how generally successful you are at spreading the word of the Raven Queen or Crow Queen, the Blackbird Queen, I guess. 14. So some success, some no failures outright or anything like that. There is a little bit of a weird reputation you earn amongst the Caravanneers as as each
Bird
night
lady.
there are these at least some amount of birds showing up to these little like shrines that you build just outside of the fucking caravan.
Funny, you want to know what my second spell that I got was?
What you get?
Find familiar.
Find. It wasn't find familiar, but it's find animal.
It's find animals. Nice, very nice, cool.
Okay,
Locate
but-
animals or plants.
Can we make the cheese one?
Can make the marshmallow.
But anyway, cool.
Awesome.
I'll keep doing that.
Wonderful.
Make marshmallow for me and cheese, please.
I don't want a whole bag of popcorn for myself. I'll just eat some of yours. It'll be fine. Thank you.
Zach, did you have something
Hello.
you wanted to do?
Yeah. On the second night. No. One day. I'd like to lead Linsey off on a walkabout.
Linsey, you're gonna die. You're gonna die in the random rolling southern plains.
Before we leave, I use a wild shape charge to summon a squirrel and be like, "Watch what happens to me. Tell my story."
As we walk off, I see an explosion from the dog. I turn the opposite direction. I don't want to go that way.
I don't want to go that way. A little dirt, like a little molehill, just erupts as you see Artorias sees a mole in it and just goes batshit with lasers.
You see another explosion ahead as Guy is at a different hole.
Great.
Absolute
Hey,
menaces
That
to
guy up,
society.
aren't we?
Okay, so now, hey Linsey, bro.
Hey man.
I just wanted to like have a talk. It was kind of rude when I said that I ate gnomes. I don't do that, man. I don't do it.
Well, that's good. That's good. Does it count as cannibalism if it's a different race?
Not where I'm from.
Where are you from?
I mean, where are we all from, man? This
Where
way
are
to
you
woods.
from? Nymdaer, or are you not willing to tell him?
I'm from everywhere, man. I'm a student of the world.
That's
Okay.
cool.
But also Menzo Baranzan. That's where I'm from.
Benzo Baranzan, yeah?
Yeah, that's me.
Let me notate
Anyway, man.
this world's equivalent of Menzo Baranzan.
Oh, I didn't know we were not in the Forgotten Realms.
We are not in the Forgotten Realms.
Okay, MB, I'm from Drow Capital number 1.
Drow Capital number 1. Wonderful. Love it.
MB.
I actually sequestered myself in the Cloakwoods.
Oh, the Cloakwoods, yeah.
Not very big, but enough to hermit for a while.
I played hide and seek there once. With 3 really hot fawns.
What the fuck?
I don't remember seeing any of them.
They were good at hiding. Real good.
There are a lot of squirrels, though. Kind of make you go nuts.
You like squirrels then, huh?
I don't have the joke card. That's just that.
I
that
was
a freebie.
really expecting it.
Anyway,
You
the
hear
Cloakwood.
Guy groan in the distance without even having heard it.
His
Is
alignment
Guy here?
further drops.
That's real cool. That's real cool.
That
Is
was
that
just
where you're
some
from?
mission.
The Cloakwood?
That's where I've spent most of. That's when I started practicing.
Practicing what?
The woodsy magic.
Oh, the wood magic. Interesting.
Yeah, here you go.
How,
and I actually
how,
reached.
how tall are the trees in the Cloakwood?
I mean, they vary. It's kind of like they're a lot shorter at the entrance, around the border, but the center is a little bit taller.
Hmm.
That's
You
where all
ever
the
do
squirrels
any-
are.
You ever do any extreme tree diving?
No. The only thing I really did was find a way to ferment sap. Here, you want some?
I do. I take some. I drink it.
You ferment sap, Linsey?
Yeah.
What?
Um,
What? No. I gotta explore this. What does your fermented sap taste like? And assuming it's alcoholic, how strong is it?
Well, seeing as this is a fantasy world, of course it's alcoholic.
Okay.
I don't think you can actually do that in real life.
Whatever.
But the flavor is going to be insanely earthy and not sweet at all.
Delightful. It's so dry it almost takes it out of me. Oh, sorry, man. I got a little low beat there.
Jesus.
Anyway, I just, I wanted to walk around and tell you I respect you, and I appreciate you keeping us alive and healthy. And, if you want to, we can do some extreme tree diving.
I'm not against that, especially now when I pull out the broom I got and I'm like, zoom, I fly up a little bit back.
Yo!
Nice.
That's pretty sweet. Anyway, I'm just all about the good vibes, brother.
Oh.
Yeah. So you've been around, right? Like, what's the most remote place you've been to?
Well, Drow City number 5 is pretty far out there.
I swear to God. Notes. There
No, it's
is
good, I like it.
apparently a Drow City number 5.
Is that anything
Yeah,
like
that's
Mambo
where they
number
do
5?
the qualifiers for the extreme river rafting every year.
You ever place?
No, man, I'm more of a kayak guy.
Extreme kayaking. Do a barrel roll.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm gonna cut this little interaction short. Was that to achieve anything, or was it just cuz?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to achieve just a moment.
Yeah, I was
Awesome.
too. I have that card as well.
Fantastic. Your moments are, I believe, prepped.
Prepped?
Let me double check.
Prepped what? What does that mean, prepped?
Yeah, so you've completed the objective, and now you gain a belief token, but you have to remember what you have learned about that player so you can use that belief token on them. Okay?
Okay, got it.
+3 on
Now,
skill check,
granted,
and
you
also
could just hold the belief
specifically
token for all
Nymdaer.
eternity and never utilize it and still get the guild coin, but if you want to use the belief token, you need to remember what it is you have learned, and that's, right? So
Oh, so the +3 on skill check has to be relevant to the information we exchange.
it doesn't have to be completely relevant if you can, like, swing it, right? But that's the preferred concept, right?
I'll see what I can do.
Is it encourages learning about each other's characters so that you can call that back up at a later date, right?
All right, take that from me.
Wonderful. Okay, fantastic. I
Why are you over there?
forgot
You just
something.
gonna take it from you.
I was talking to Jeremy.
I forgot something very specific. When you all were preparing to leave the VAEA, did you go get Kira? And
Oh, I didn't.
And bring her with you.
Sure.
Why not?
You don't have to. That's entirely up to you guys.
More the merrier.
More the merrier. Okay, then Kira is with you. And since
Vote yes.
Kira is with you, I can now kind of discuss companion mechanics a little bit. First, I'm going to pop over here and make sure that everyone has access to Kira's character sheet. Okay.
I'm just
So
gonna watch them all.
Kira levels
Okay.
with you guys. So Kira has some new abilities. Kira has some traits and flaws. The way that companions work. Companions can either be run by a singular person that the group votes to run the companion, right? They will run that companion in combat. I will roleplay that companion. Okay? Alternatively, if the group decides, or if there's just not a general consensus, the group can collectively run the companion each turn. Okay? That's up for y'all to decide. Otherwise, every companion has a reputation or kind of like a friendship meter with the group that is from a 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest, but also a personal friendship meter with each individual, also from 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. 1 is still a friend. 2 is a good friend. And 2 is where Kira considers all of you to be at this particular moment. Because, honestly, you saved her life and she has nothing else going for her right now because she refuses to go back home and is experiencing severe survivor's guilt. So she is kind of clutching on to this group as a, yeah, this lets me ignore anything else and focus on this.
I feel better about bringing her now.
Right? So, Kira is a potential resource, an ally, an additional body in battle, but she has her own feelings, her own reactions. If you treat her according to her preferences, right, then she will become better and better friends with both individuals and the group collectively, and she will gain benefits because of that. If you treat her negatively,
Oh no.
you can lose her as a companion.
Maybe we shouldn't take her.
If you do things that she doesn't like, if you do things that she disagrees with, if you try to force her to do things that she is not interested in doing or agrees with, you will negatively impact her reputation with you, your friendship meter, and if it goes into the negative, that is below 0, then she will no longer be an available companion. Okay? That being said, the higher her friendship is with any of you and the group collectively, the higher bonus you will get when trying to convince her to do something that she doesn't want to do. Okay?
Okay.
Anybody have any questions with any of that?
That is all crystal clear.
Fantastic. Caravan travel happens. You all begin to make your own way with your own horses over the course of the next several days south towards the border that Rhaweth shares with Tenaria. The terrain becomes more and more hilly. It becomes difficult to see over or see towards the horizon, right? Every time you go over a hill, go back down, you're in these valleys repeatedly over and over again. There gets to be fewer and fewer signs of civilization. You still see small villages, little trading posts, etc., but they're fewer and fewer as you travel throughout the days. And then the amount doesn't decrease, but the, let's say, seediness increases as you approach the border. There's kind of like an amount of civilization in this area, but it becomes noticeably less reputable, noticeably less like, oh, this is a nice little farming village. More like oh, this is a place. They seem to be doing okay. In this little stretch of the journey, is there anything that anyone does, or are we moving through?
Not at this time.
All good?
No.
Fantastic. You all make about 3 days after leaving the caravan, you make it in, according to your map, into the generalized area of Burnock Mill. And there's a couple of roads, smaller roads, that split off in various directions. This is one of those slightly more populated locations, thus the presence of the mill. But it's strange, as you approach it, this mill is off on a hill, kind of in the middle of nowhere. There are like some small little like hamlets nearby, but they're like a few hours walk away from this place. It seems very strange that this mill is just out in the middle of nowhere. And fortunately, because of its high vantage, you're able to spot it from about like 2 hills over as you're approaching it. So you know you're getting close. It is probably just before noon as you come to the last hill before Burnock Mill, and you get your first good glimpse of the location. Green.
Are we gonna be?
Huh?
Nothing. Never mind.
Greenery, little shrubs, a few trees, some copses, right here or there. Noticeably, though, the sound of running water, as there's a bit of a river here, which isn't especially surprising. It's a mill. Most mills are powered by water wheels, right? But the mill is a little bit away from the actual river itself. And you see a bridge across the river. And immediately in kind of like the longer list of details that was provided to you by VAEA, that sparks your memory in the concept that the bridge, which is the only real route across this river in this area, right, is where these individuals are excising their tolls. And you're on the side of the river that you will need to cross the bridge or figure out something else in order to approach the mill.
Hey, I got a question, guys. Why didn't we get a teleport to where we needed to go? Like we've been teleported these last 2-3 times?
You didn't get teleported last time with the Striganona.
Oh, we didn't.
No, you walked out of the VAEA and walked to a nearby village and then tromped around the
I don't
hill
know,
like
man.
this.
Like, sometimes the journey is part of it.
Yeah.
I just assumed you meatbags needed some exercise.
I mean, you know, maybe. Okay, so this checkpoint in Burnock Mill
I
is Burnock
drift past on my broom.
is Burnock Mill on, so it's like going towards the other country.
So
Like it's like
it's
on the border of the
it's
other
very
country.
near the border. It's not like directly on the border, but this territory is kind of like this semi-disputed no man's land as far as like government goes between the two countries, right? And either one
stream-
marching an army towards it would be really big news for the other one.
Okay, and this stream is technically on.
It's not a
Rhaweth
stream, it's a
side?
full-ass river.
Okay, is the full ass river technically on the Rhaweth side?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
everything that you're on right now is still on the Rhaweth side. Technically, you'd still have like another half a day or day's travel to get to the actual border.
Okay, and what direction does this quote unquote big ass river flow? Does it like flow from the other country?
East to west.
Okay, and the other country is east of us or south of us?
South.
Okay, gotcha. I see. I Nymdaer am an accomplished riversman. How treacherous does this river look?
As noted by you heading to fucking Drow City number 5 for the extreme river rafting competition.
Yeah, it's the trials.
Like, it comes back.
That's right. I'd like to assess this river.
Sure.
How treacherous does it look?
I will say
I
you
stand
can,
next to Nymdaer, also assessing.
anyone, Nymdaer guy, if you would like to roll me something, you could roll me, if you are proficient, perception, survival, or nature. They're gonna give you different bits of information.
All right, Jeremy, let me ask you this. This is part of my backstory. I'm an accomplished riversman. Can I have advantage on this?
Did you qualify in the extreme river rafting competition?
I qualified, but I didn't podium.
How badly did you not podium?
I was 5th.
That's still out of how many? Wait, out of how many?
Out of 5.
No, you don't get to the trial. It's an honor just to get to the trials. Okay.
What's the size here we're talking? Like out of
pretty
10?
big. It's a big
out
event.
of 30? Out of 50?
Look, solo
roll a D10.
kayaking.
Roll a D10,
The
see
solo
what you get.
kayak trials is
Jeremy,
very
have you not
competitive.
heard of Drow City 5? It's a big deal.
I'll do that. I'll do that actually. Roll me, let's say roll me a 1d100. We're gonna ignore anything. Nope, we're not gonna ignore anything. We're gonna roll a 1d100.
81.
Fits out of 81.
It's not bad. You
That's
can have it.
fantastic.
You can have advantage.
How
I'm
fucking
telling
long do
you,
these trials take?
You can have advantage.
solo kayak is it's a competitive sector.
All right.
Let me tell you.
All right.
All right. Advantage perception.
Okay.
As I assess the river, I point things out to Guy. I say, "Look
Guy,
at
are you rolling anything?
Yeah, I take his advice and his kayak knowledge and try to apply it.
That's right.
Wonderful. Guy, have you ever
Someone say I'm assisting him.
Have you ever been in water?
Yeah, 100%. All
That
the
is-
time.
That did not sound sure. That sounded like you were lying. That very much sounded like you were lying.
No,
I'm gonna.
Artorias and I
nope,
love water. We spend so much time.
It's too late. I'm leaving you with that 11. 16 perception, 11 nature. Does anyone else, while this is going on, does anyone else want to roll, have proficiency and want to roll in those skills, perception, survival, or nature?
I'll roll in survival.
Okay.
I can roll
13
nature.
survival. Up to you.
Roll nature then, sir.
Nature. Hey, ya. Not great.
You're from the forest. It's fine. You wouldn't have messed with
Yeah.
streams this big.
But it rains. That
Fantastic. All right, fantastic. A 16 perception and a 13 survival are enough to get you some information. So, things that you note immediately. We'll go the 13 survival first. Things that you note immediately, Dolly, from your experience with rivers is, first of all, this particular stretch of the river does have a few curves in it, right? And there's these kind of like small beaches where the erosion the differing levels of the river during different seasonal floods and things like that has created this erosion down the sidewalls of the river. The river seems to be maybe a little bit low right now, right? Which might mean that it is more easily fordable if you were wanting to try that. You also notice that there are little pockets of kind of like floating plant life, which to you signifies that the river's current isn't so strong or harsh that it would rip up those types of things, right? But from this distance, it's still kind of hard to judge how strong the current is, okay? Nymdaer, on a 16, you notice a couple of things, less specifically about the river and more around about the terrain around the river, right?
That's right.
The bridge itself, right, is about 40 to 50 feet long, right? So that's the generalized width of the river at that point. It's got these kind of like this lattice work support system, so it's supported from the top rather than the bottom, right? And it's somewhat difficult to see, but you're pretty sure you can see people up in those rafters. You also can tell that the distance between the bridge and the mill is pretty large. It's 100 feet or so, probably. So it's not especially close to the river, which is somewhat strange because the mill is to the south, the river's flowing from east to west, and then something catches your eye. There's a small divot and a small break, what looks like to be in the river towards the east side of your vision. And it takes you a moment, but because you beat a 15, you realize after a second that there's a channel that has been carved into the river and is flowing into a holding pond, right? And in theory, because you're a well-traveled individual who's been to many different Drow capital cities, I don't fucking know.
Many events, yeah, many events.
You're like, oh, I've seen some things like this before. It's a holding cell for water so that they can turn the mill off and on at will by releasing the water in the holding cell and connecting it to the river. So there's probably a channel on the other side of that scenario that leads over to the mill itself.
To the mill, yeah, to the mill. Gotcha. Very interesting. So, okay. Okay. Very good. So do we want to like try and get across, or do we want to go poke at that thing? Or...
We got a couple people up, so I'm going to take this opportunity. It's 9 o'clock. I'm going to take this opportunity. We're going to go on break real quick so that I can bio and so that people can just chat amongst themselves of general ideas. So, BRB.
We just start tossing people across the bridge while...
Alrighty, everyone, we are back from break, and I think it is now time for us to have a little different music. So you are atop this hill, I'm assuming being relatively circumspect, relatively stealthy about your current presence. As you take in the scenery, the setting before you, to the south of you, this bridge, this river, the Burnock Mill itself, Dolly has ascertained a little bit of information from this distance about the river itself, right? That it's potentially fordable, that the current shouldn't be too strong, though there does still seem to be some sort of current. And Nymdaer has been able to kind of like target a couple of different distances, the width of the river, the distance from the bridge to the mill itself, and the fact that there is some sort of sluice gate scenario going on to the eastern portion that seems to be feeding towards the mill itself to power the potential water wheel that is there.
And that there's a Rufio-style gang in the rafters.
And yes, and that there is a Rufio-style game, in the rafters of the bridge.
I share that as we're going towards it.
So-
hey guys, there's a Rufio-style gang up there.
I missed that they were in the rafters. So these guys aren't like a checkpoint of guards that are like, we're checking everybody who comes through. No, these guys are looking to freaking attack us and take our shit.
Roll an insight
Probably
check
if we
for me
try
if you
and
haven't
mess with the
trained.
thing. Roll insight. if we
Sorry,
can.
roll insight.
Anyone who has insight trained can roll.
I'm not. I am a robot. I don't have insight.
I am insightful. I
You're
check.
not insightful.
21.
I do not know how to read people.
After Nymdaer starts pointing things out, you all are able to pick up on these various things as well. Linsey, they strike you as relatively relaxed. Does Linsey have any experience traveling and dealing with bandits or getting mugged or things like that?
I mean, he had to deal with a rogue honey badger in the woods.
Ooh.
Okay.
Often do not give a fuck.
It's the second campaign I brought in a honey badger.
These individuals that you can spot with their postures and the way that they're kind of like just lounging amidst the rafters, they don't look especially hostile. They look like individuals that are probably going to drop down when anyone approaches the bridge and be like, hey, there's a toll, give us this or you can't cross.
All right, so piecing that together, just to save ourselves some time, I'll just I'll get on my broom and I'll fly up towards the rafter, and I'll like, hey.
So as everyone like approaching the
Linsey!
bridge and Linsey is
Linsey, I need
just
to talk to
flying
them!
out them?
Yep. And I'll be like, hey guys, is this a toll? How much is it?
You hear, Linsey doesn't hear this because he's flying up and a little bit ahead of everyone. The rest of you hear Kira just be like, wow, he's too brave.
He's too brave, huh?
No, she didn't say two. She said stew, and then cut the word off and said brave.
I do an ocular pat down of the bridge. What's the structural integrity look like? Could I bring it down with some acid?
You need a lot of acid. It's a decent sized bridge, and
enough,
I will
fair
say
enough.
since this is happening, I think we're gonna start putting people on the map.
All right.
Oh, we see.
And
Yeah, we've been at the title screen for a while.
specifically, Yata. I have to adjust some things in a momento.
That's horrible.
Don't
That's
think
so funny.
this thing has light. Why don't you have light?
Not like he's crippled, like he's a member of the Crips.
Yeah, because he ain't got blood.
That's not.
Stillborn.
It's not a stillborn. He's raising his arms.
You all are approaching
Took it out to
the
Stillborn 'cause he ain't got no blood.
scenario in broad
It's 'cause he's a
daylight.
Why there?
So, oh, is also with you. Wait. Incorrect.
This motherfucker better stay in here.
You know my PX?
No, the damn thermostat
Oh,
keeps switching to the bedroom.
yeah, because that's the schedule. It should stay in here though if you move it. Should.
Yeah. Oh,
Am I supposed to see anything with the title page?
You are not supposed to see anything with the title page. Lily, your HP doesn't look like it's changed.
It did. It went up from 36 to 42.
Looks like the token just didn't update. Let me correct that real quick. Actually, it looks like nobody's HP has changed. Damn you, game!
Yeah, I know for a fact I updated both mine and Cassandra's, so.
Now, it just does that sometimes where it's like...
yeah, because I'm an invalid.
You're not an invalid. You just work at an actual job, and I have time sometimes to do things.
Game update.
You work where they have to see you to believe you're working.
Why does it hate me? All right, I'll just have to manually fix y'all. No worries. I'm gonna put y'all on the thing, and then while things are happening, it updated for Lily. Why did it update for Lily?
You probably
What?
just have to delete our token and.
I already did that.
He already did that.
Guy, how much HP? No, Guy's HP is definitely incorrect. Guy, how much HP does Artorias have?
30.
Yeah, that's incorrect. Oh, is it doing the thing where it did! It's forcing me to open the character page, and then it will update their HP. Thanks, game.
Library.
Alright, let me... No, where's Linsey? There's Linsey. I think Linsey's the last one. Nope. Keep clicking Lily! Alright. Let's do this. We are going to swap music to this. The right one? Yes. We're gonna swap players to this. You all are coming down the hill towards the bridge as Linsey hops onto his broom and flies the fuck up towards the rafters, calling out to the people within.
Hey guys!
I trot forward, following his lead. Hello, I am Guy.
What the fuck is this thing on the right?
What is this? I don't know. A fucking monstrosity?
Oh, no. No, sorry.
Wait.
I didn't get to make
Jeremy's
this clear.
Steam avatar?
I didn't get to make this clear. You all are behind as Linsey flies the fuck up towards the rafters. And we're gonna resolve anything that happens there before anyone else gets the opportunity to move. Linsey, are you trying to be stealthy in any way, shape, form, or fashion?
Oh no. I'm just coming up to just talk with some gentlemen.
I'm gonna.
It's a normal conversation with people.
like nonchalantly, just make sure that I have my bow at the ready.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Well,
so
all
you're
right,
going
we're-
to visibly have weapon drawn?
No, I guess it'll be down, right? Like I'm gonna have my bow in my hand, but it will be down.
Okay.
I don't have an arrow knocked or anything, but
I'm not like aiming at him. I've just got it in my hand.
that's
Sure.
right.
Very, very fair. Linsey, and everyone can see this, but Linsey specifically. These individuals, as I described, were pretty relaxed. They don't seem to be doing a very good job of watching the road. Then again, they're probably listening for the sounds of larger parties, like wagons and things like that, which I'm assuming you all left your horses the hill behind, like tethered somewhere, so we're just gonna ignore them for now, right? Which is not all of you. So they seem completely taken aback as, one, you all appear, and two, Linsey, you're flying on a broom about height with the rafters.
Yep.
You see 5 people. One kind of like bald-headed woman, right? Very like muscular, thick, kind of like very reclined, drinking something. And then an older man in robes, and then 3 younger lads, kind of like all dangling with their legs kicking over a rafter, right? They freak the fuck out and are like, oh shit,
Hey,
whoa,
no, it's
huh."
cool. It's cool.
And
Hey.
the bald-headed lady like hops up, like very athletically, like kicks back off the rafters and does the martial arts like push themselves up
It's called a kip up.
and immediately into a fighting pose, right? And the other 4 all move their hands towards you, one hand out, one hand in their robes, almost identically the way all 4 of them move. And you see just this crackle of sparks across their fingertips, as they're surprised by your appearance, and then less concerned as they see this gnomish. You're gnomish, right? Halfling. Sorry. Guy is the gnome. Halfling
Wow.
individual.
Racist. All the little small people are the same to you, huh?
Yep.
Your token size is the same, so yeah, basically. They see this halfling flying on a broom, and the bald woman looks across and she says, Walter, what the fuck is that? You ever seen anything like that?
I'm a halfling. And a druid.
And the
Nah,
gray-
Walter, I ain't seen nothing like that.
The
Walter,
gray-haired man whom she is speaking to.
Gray Walter, possibly.
The gray-haired man whom she is speaking to looks across at her, as if to answer, gets interrupted by Linsey yelling, I'm a halfling! And then looks at Linsey like he is just dumb and says, she ain't talking about you, she's talking about the fucking broom you're on!
Yeah, I just got it not too long ago. It's kind of great. It was an excuse to use it. I wanted to save you guys a trip from having to go back down.
You see everyone, like, relaxes a small amount, right? Kind of, like, chills the fuck out a little bit. But Walter's hand's still out. And he kind of, like, waggles a finger at you and he goes, well, fuck. Ain't that spiffy?
That's kind of fun.
Shit. And his eyes go past you to the rest of your party, which is filing up behind you. And it's at this point that if people want to move, they can do so. How high up in the air are you, Linsey? The rafters are about 15 feet up.
Let's just say 15 to 20. Just
okay.
All right, whatever. I go sauntering onto the bridge.
As soon as you do that, you take a step onto the bridge, and the bald-headed woman whoop, jumps down, lands 2 feet, sturdy, practiced, doesn't blink, and stands up, crosses her arms, doesn't give you a bad look, but just smiles and says, "Oh there, little fella." Wait, you're not a little fella. Well, you're
I'm
little.
not. I'm not little, bro.
You're littler than her. So she retains the greeting. "Oh there, little fella. There's a toll for this here bridge."
Okay.
Where does the money go to?
Oh,
He
that's
says,
That's a good question. Where does the money go to?
"Oh, there's a orphanage about 2 days over that we keep well supplied and fed. We gotta make sure they're taking care of them little uns. And we take a small amount aside for our own survival, of course."
Oh. Guy, there's an orphanage.
Well, that's nice. I don't think that's how tolls work, though. I think it goes to the government and then is distributed as needed.
Ain't no government around here. What? Are you where? Are you
Hello, I'm
wearing
Guy.
a metal body?
I am a metal body.
Walter, what the fuck? Right. Walter just shrugs.
Sure, yeah, no, seems like a up legitimate business.
How much is the toll?
Yeah, we're happy to support legitimate businesses.
Oh, it's simple for travelers such as yourself. And she draws out that sentence and looks back up at Walter and gives him this kind of like look. And you see him kind of like make a hand sign to her.
Like someone's about to bust out an
Anyone
appetite.
who has perception trained can roll me perception. Or insight if you have it trained.
I will check
know.
for you, sweetie. I will roll perception.
No need.
I will roll insight.
Ooh!
Dolly,
Dadgum.
you have neither of those.
Lily, whatever dice color you picked, I think it's working.
I think it's working. I'm pretty sure they're gonna attack us, so
So,
can
as
just
far
pay
as
them the fucking
capturing these
money.
people
I have
alive,
so much
where are we
fucking
supposed
money.
to
Let's
take
just
them?
pay them the money.
I don't know. Let's just knock them out and like string them up
Look,
under the
I
bridge
don't
or
want
something.
Guy to go completely evil. Shit, just pay them
Jeremy,
money.
as far as taking these guys alive, where do we have to take them? Like, do we have to tote them around for the entire adventure, or
Correct.
like
If you're
with
if you're attempting to return them to Rhaweth captured alive, you have to do whatever you feel is necessary to get them back to Rhaweth
This is
alive.
bullshit.
Hmm.
Because Jeremy is incentivizing the convenience of just killing them, therefore making Guy more evil.
Look, we just break their legs and string them up somewhere.
That's not better.
Yes, it is. That's still alive.
Yeah, but that's
6 isn't gonna do it. 21 is good. 24 is great, and 18 is good. So, We'll go with the insights. No, we'll go with the perception first. We'll go with we'll honor the 20 and go with that first. Lily, for whatever reason, you have either been around enough people or had enough experiences or had a friend or whatever the case is that you don't actually know the language, I believe, but you have picked up enough thieves' cant throughout your time that you recognize that Walter is signaling to this bald woman that you all look like adventurers and can probably pay a higher toll than regular travelers.
Damn, I'm surprised we don't look like adventurers who ought not be fucked with. I'm just saying.
On a 21 and an 18, Nymdaer and Linsey, while Walter doesn't say it, you see him glance back at the 3 lads behind him, and the way
lad.
Young men,
Like 18, 19?
potentially in the realm,
Does it matter if they're legal
Yes,
or not?
it matters if they're kids.
because ages can vary, right? Or appearances by age can vary. So if they are teenagers, they are in their late teens, but you would not mark them as clear adults.
Okay.
You see
No,
Walter looks back at them, and while he doesn't say anything else, hand signal-wise, that Lily would have caught, Linsey and Nymdaer, from how he looks at the boys and how he sets his posture, he absolutely thinks that perhaps this is going to turn into a fight because of all of your appearances. So he is at the ready to do something about it.
Also, I'm gonna take the time to mentally ping everyone, like while this conversation is going on.
Yeah,
right?
you're not actively doing the negotiating right
like,
now, so
yeah, I'm assuming it takes like 6 seconds to do this, but like, I will mention that one of the people that we're supposed to capture's name is Ray Walt.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I mean, yeah, so...
the bald-headed woman, after that kind of like brief exchange, because we did a lot of like roles and what's going on like visually there, the woman looks up, looks back, and says, "Oh, nothing that'll probably do anything to all of yous except lighten your load. We'll call it a cool 50 gold per creature."
50?
She nods.
Well,
So that's 300 gold for everyone.
you guys are more expensive than Drow City number 2.
Right? Is my math bad?
No, you're correct. There's 6 of you. Or there's 7 of you. There's 7 of you. It's 350.
Who's the 7th? Does Artorias count?
Or she said creature. She didn't say person.
Well, technically,
She doesn't know that.
means there's only 5 creatures.
She doesn't know that.
Counter offer.
Like,
I'll give you 10 gold each, and you get to leave with your legs.
What the fuck?
Oh my god, he learned from me.
Whoa, guy, whoa! Sorry about that. We're just here for good vibes, all right?
Guy, roll me an intimidation check.
I love it just saying it so like.
You know what's really bad though? I was about to do something similar.
No.
Oh my gosh. Can we learn who they are before we kill them?
There's a 3.
Oh yeah, just a cool 3.
I didn't say I was gonna kill them.
You
I
see
just said I
the
was
bald-headed woman, muscles bulging, does the whole like crack knuckles, and it's pretty big. It's pretty audible.
Which one is the bald woman? Is it the crazy token?
No, it's this one. It's
The one that's bald?
It's the one that's bald but looks like a man.
Yeah, it's a man. Okay, which one is the crazy token? Is that Walter?
That is the
that's
gray-haired
Gray Walter.
individual that is being addressed as Walter. Yeah.
Walter the
Okay.
Gray.
Um,
As long as he's not Walter White.
Yeah.
That was a
the
good one,
bald-headed woman takes what you says, guy. Right? Nymdaer, you start to like try to cut in and be like, "Whoa, we're here for good vibes." The bald-headed woman says, "I don't rightly care what you're here for, but the price is the price, and I wouldn't suggest making trouble. It's a lot easier to just pay your toll and walk on."
Counter offer. I'll pay double the toll if you give us him.
She follows your finger and she's like,
I point at Walter.
pointing at Walter?
Yeah.
The fuck do you want Walter? Besides the point. You see a moment where this individual's like, could I? Is this possible?
What does Walter feel about that?
Walter's not really engaging at this point. Like, he from the previous insight checks, he seems tense and to have clocked this as a I'ma have to light a bitch up kind of moment. So he is like at the fucking ready, hand outstretched. One hand kind of like in his pocket type situation. The person shakes their head, looks back like, that's not how this works. I can't, even if I can't give you Walter. That's not a thing. I'm not in the business of giving or taking people. That's fucked
Well, what
up.
business are you in? We like business.
And two,
It's a bounty.
I don't get to keep all your gold, so it wouldn't even be worth it for me.
Well, I mean, the only money you can't keep is the 350 that is required.
Give me your damn gold or get the fuck off.
Guys, we could just cross the river like a little further down.
Wow, guy, I really like that idea.
Don't be subverting. She looks back up at Waltz. Don't be subverting the toll.
That's a
I mean,
guy.
you said there's no
how-
government, so there's no rule of whatever the hell we want to do.
That's true. There's no government.
Go get yourself drowned in the river, you dumb metal freak.
He doesn't breathe.
That's very hurtful, but I don't think I'll drown.
He don't breathe?
You don't have lungs.
Yeah.
Counter offer.
Give us Sky.
Give us the non-breathing metal boy, and that's all you gotta give.
Okay, how far up is this person? Is she still in the rafter?
No, she's on the ground with you now.
She's on the ground. How far up is Walter?
The raptors are 15 feet up.
Counter offer.
It's like
You give us Walter, and you can have me.
Guy,
I
am
still-
uncomfortable with that.
All the same reasons for why I couldn't give you Walter previously still exist.
But you said you were going to take me.
I didn't really think that one through.
right,
Just
Artorias.
really weird and kind of interesting.
Well, thank you.
I can vouch for that.
I just have a feeling the boss would be intrigued by you.
Who's the boss? Is Walter not the boss?
Walter was seeming like the
No,
boss.
Walter ain't the boss.
Are you the boss? Who are you?
I'm a boss. but I'm not the boss.
Are you the boss of the bridge?
Um,
You look kind of like a barrel. Is your name Jill?
roll me a. Someone roll me a persuasion check.
Yeah, okay.
Such a reach, my brother.
15.
Oh, Dolly's got persuasion. Ignore that. Dolly's gonna roll.
Dolly's gonna roll.
Dolly rolled a 13.
Dolly rolled 13.
It ain't bad, babe. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
There
It's not.
is a brief moment where Walter, who is at the ready, where his focus cracks momentarily as he's trying to watch all of you, right? Like eyes like a hawk trying to watch all of you. And then his attention gets momentarily distracted by this weird ass conversation. By the bald woman being like, "Fuck no, Walter ain't the boss." His momentarily like looks down at her, right? And as she is about to respond to you on who's the boss, this older man barks and says, "All right, enough of this noise. Who the fuck are you and why are you here? You're asking too many damn questions." And you see his hand, which has been outstretched. You see his hand start to point upward. If you have insight proficiency, roll it.
Yeah, it's supposed on.
I'm the only one with insight. Jay, don't you have
Yeah,
insight?
shit, no, yeah.
I'm a robot.
I did not.
I'm a robot. I don't insight.
I do have insight. 19.
19.
Oh yeah, I have insight with a casual 8.
Yeah, well, that's.
I will say, Nymdaer, you're potentially literally too close to the situation. Your attention's split between this bald, formidable woman near you and then Walter up above you in the rafters, so it's difficult to keep an eye on both of them at the same time. So you're just a tail behind this. But Linsey, the posturing that Walter takes goes from a "I'm ready to fuck you up" this posturing, right? To a "this could be bad and I might need to call it in" posture.
All right.
Do you do anything in that moment?
Are you talking to Jay?
I'm talking to Jay. Yeah, absolutely. Because Linsey is the person who realizes this sudden shift in posture, and he has the moment to act.
Shit. I will speak into his mind directly. I'll lock eyes with him and say, "I wouldn't do that."
Yeah, he's definitely gonna do it. Well, I don't know, maybe not.
Roll me a... Okay. I want to be clear. This is not a persuasion check. Right? Like,
No.
you're not persuading this person not to do this thing. That's not what this roll is. But I want you to roll persuasion to see how gently, soothingly, whatever the case is, get into this person's mind who is already on edge and not have them freak out and their response be to do the thing they were thinking of doing.
Okay, I got, this is gonna be a straight roll. Got a 0 on this one.
Oh, shit.
For a 0, that's pretty great.
You just hit
Oh!
enough. Can he respond? Like, can he respond to
no.
you, or is it just...
No, we have determined that no, he can't
Here.
respond.
Then he says out loud. His posture doesn't change. He's still kind of like in that prepared moment. But he says out loud, kind of like looking around a little, "Who the fuck was that? Who the fuck is in my head? Which one of you sons of bitches is in my head?"
What? None of us can do that.
Nymdaer, you know that's not true. Roll a deception check for me.
Hey!
14's not horrible. Walter is going to... He has a +2.
Man, me too. I get fucked.
Hey!
He looks momentarily rattled, which has him distracted. What is happening from the party in this moment?
I'll say, okay. Look, my name's Nymdaer. I heard through the grapevine that you may have come across, just maybe found on the road some like interesting jewelry that my wife may or may not have been asking about. She's always trying to show up.
Bald-headed
That
woman
bitch.
looks up at Walter.
Whatever the fuck her name
Lily, you see Walter hand sign.
Yeah.
Question mark mercenaries? Question mark bounty hunters? And you see the stance of the woman on the bridge get a little lower as she looks back at Nymdaer. And I think everyone in the party can sense you are one false move away from this just erupting into conflict.
Guys, we didn't buy did
No.
Mannequins?
Manacles.
Oh. I was like, no?
Shackles. Handcuffs.
You were given a side quest that said potentially
Shit.
bring 5 people back alive. You had
We're
an opportunity to
stupid.
supply
Why?
yourselves.
I'm
And
gonna keep. I'm bringing back
Now,
alive. They're just
the
never gonna
only
walk
time
again.
I thought of
Look,
it.
Linsey, it's not a
Why?
problem. We still get money if they're dead.
wait,
Yeah.
is this conversation happening out loud? Jay, was that out loud in character, Linsey? Asking, we didn't buy
It
manacles.
wasn't intended to, but that would be real funny if it was.
I think it
Do you want
definitely
to
should
play
have
it
been.
like that?
With guys'
Yeah,
responses,
yeah,
look,
play
we
it like
get
it
money
was.
either way.
Sure. Yeah, that was out loud.
Walter's hands crackle with electricity. And I need everyone to select their tokens and roll for initiative.
Oh no, not electricity, my weakness.
Because
Which I
we're
have
about to
one
have a
for.
battle on the bridge. And
Alright, I did
by
it.
we're about to
Oh.
have a battle on the bridge,
Oh,
I
for bridge
mean
battle.
the
Battle at
next...
Big Bridge.
If I could play that music without getting an immediate copyright strike, I would 100% play that song. And I would love every fucking moment of it, but I can't do that, so I just need anyone who loves that song to be playing that song or listening to it or playing it in
I'm
your
gonna go
head.
listen to it right
On the
now.
way.
Right? That being said, we're gonna have a battle on a bridge. I mean, we are going to have a battle on the bridge next time when we play Where Evil Lives. Thanks for hanging out. That is going to be where we are ending this episode. We will see you next time for more Where Evil Lives. Burnock Mill. Bye-bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
How?
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.